So, Seth, you wrote a preview about tonight's game.
Yes.
So first of all, talk about the history between these two teams this season.
The Carolina Cobras.
Columbus is leading the series 2-1. First season, obviously. They are 1-1 here in Carolina, but their one loss was to backup quarterback Jeremy Johnson. So tonight, Mason Espinoza is likely to be starting, and so that might shake things up for the Cobras offense or defense.
And we saw him at the media day yesterday in the banquet.
Yeah.
And it appeared he's going to have to play in a brace. It appeared watching him in warm-up, he might not be 100%. So, and his backup, Johnson, played pretty great to get him to the championship, running in 4 touchdowns. So I really don't know at this point which way the coach is going to go. James, do you have a feel of that?
I tell you what, I think they're going to keep a close eye on him early. One thing as a defense, when you know you've got a wounded animal back there, you're licking your chops and you're pinning your ears back trying to get to him. And yes, Johnson had a good game in their semifinal game. But if you recall, when he came in here last time at the Coliseum, the Cobras defense had him kind of rattled a bit and a little bit off target. So it'll be interesting to see if Espinosa's able to go and get those guys on track, or if we got to go with Johnson.
Well, let me say, if there are fans out here, and we really appreciate, they're tuned in from all over the National Arena League. They're tuned in from Jacksonville. A lot of folks from Jacksonville up here, from Massachusetts. They're tuned in from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Lehigh.
They're tuned in from Portland, Maine, all over the country. But if you are anywhere near this Greensboro Coliseum, what you do is get immediately in your car or on your bicycle, and you come down to the Greensboro Coliseum, because I see a sign there in the corner of the arena ticking down from 25 minutes. You got time to come to the Greensboro Coliseum. Seth, is there a better experience?
No, there's not. I had a dream last night that I wasn't able to come, and I had to watch it from somewhere else and write my recap from somewhere else. It was such a terrible dream. And so I'm so glad I woke up.
Did you wake up with a cold sweat?
No, thank goodness.
So as we look out here, the field is all set up. I see some sort of strange contraptions on the field. I don't know what's coming next, but in just a few minutes, we're going to be able to see our teams come out for the National Arena League Championship. Columbus Lions coming in from Georgia, and the home team Carolina Cobras. Cobras, as I mentioned, a banquet last night towards Cobras ownership won the ownership award, the best ownership award in the banquet last night. Been many other superlatives that we can talk about, but right now I want to watch these highlights.
You've got to tip your hat to this ownership. First year, not only first year in the National Arena League, but first year in existence. And here you are at the end of the season hosting the championship game right here at the beautiful Greensboro Coliseum. I don't know if it gets any better. They could not have scripted this at the beginning of the season that we'd be here today.
No. There's that Lions defense. Now, see the receivers going crazy on that scoreboard right now, James.
Yeah.
One thing that we're going to talk about a little later is we've got Jarmon Fortson back. The star receiver for the Columbus Lions was suspended for an incident that happened, and he's back. And I know he'll be especially motivated tonight.
Back with a little bit of controversy. That's going to be an interesting topic that we'll get into a little bit later. But you know what? I think if you're a competitor, you want the best on the field, because if you win this ball game, you want to know that you beat the best.
Yeah. I had the opportunity to talk to Commissioner beforehand, and I asked him why did Fortson's suspension get lifted, and he said he appealed it, and they didn't see anything too bad in it that they needed to keep him suspended, but they did fine him.
And their sense of it, you got a feeling, Seth, was that they wanted the best players out there to decide this National Arena League Championship?
That's what I'm thinking. They wanted to get the attendance out. They wanted to get a lot of people out here tonight.
And if you're Fortson's teammate, I think it lifts you up to know that you've got your big weapon on the field with you. There's no tomorrow. Does anyone remember the Rocky movie? There is no tomorrow. This is it. So you've got to get everything and everyone on the field tonight.
We're also going to be seeing the Venom Dance team tonight. One of my favorite parts of the night. They're able to do country dancing. They're able to do military dancing. There's been Cobra Reedaville nights. Seth, did you have a favorite night? Cobra Reedaville, Star Wars?
The superhero.
Superhero night?
Yeah.
Now, does little Rhett, your son James, still have his lightsaber? Maybe he'll be in the arena tonight waving his lightsaber around.
I played with that lightsaber this week thinking, wow, this thing is still going on. That was my favorite night, the Star Wars night, mainly because those jerseys were phenomenal. Do you remember those jerseys?
Yes.
Pretty cool. We're watching some great highlights of those Venom dancers. Boy, you can't see it now, fans, but the Venom Dance squad has made their way out to the 25-yard line. We're getting ready to see them live in person right here at the Greensboro Coliseum. Fans, come on down. If you can't get to Greensboro, turn your TV volume up. Turn your computer volume up. All right, pretty great.
They actually brought some of the dancers up from Jacksonville up here tonight.
That'll be a really cool thing, dancing with the Jacksonville Sharks.
No, like some of the Venom dancers are Jacksonville Sharks dancers.
Oh, wow. Oh,
yes.
Do you have a favorite dancer, Seth?
I do not. I can't name you any of them, actually.
Okay, fans, there's nothing wrong with your computer screen or television set if you're seeing all dark right now. What you're about to witness is the final entrances of the 2018 National Arena League season.
Tom, Seth, I think some Cobras are about to strike.
Get a chance for you fans down in Georgia. We're going to get a chance to see the introductions of both teams.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2018 National Arena League Championship Trophy.
Beautiful trophy. Look at that.
They unveiled it yesterday at Media Day.
That's what it's all about.
Coach Billy Back, whose grandmother May Back is out there watching, I'm sure. His whole Back family and all the relatives are cheering him on. He said he was looking forward, if he could possibly win that thing, to maybe sitting down and having a beer next to that trophy. A lot of the players indicated that just seeing that trophy was motivation to come in and put out their best game for tonight. Seth, you grew up in an era where everybody got a trophy. Not one of those, though.
Yeah, no, not even close.
Well, look at that.
Never met a match I couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, 'cause you know I was born for this.
That Karate Kid Crane celebration. Seen a lot of touchdowns here.
Watch this.
That celebration.
Love it. Goodman's flip. I'd love to see him flip all night.
There's that laughing house, man. Did you see that catch?
Yeah.
He's apparently back tonight.
Is that the new mascot?
Cobra strike.
Seth, you got your 3D glasses on? Boy, look at that. Look at that logo. And you know what it says right on the bottom of it?
Greensboro, North Carolina. Best city in the world on earth.
The best Coliseum. The many a tournament decided in this very building. Seemed improbable for a while, but it's right here. Greensboro, North Carolina, the host of the 2018 National Arena League Championship game.
Tom, I think back to when we left here, that final regular season game, and we didn't know if we'd be back. A lot of things had to fall into place, and sure enough, they did. And here we are.
Here come the Cobras.
Here come your Cobras.
For your Carolina Cobras. Here they are, your 2018 Carolina
Cedric Poole leading the team out onto the field.
Let's make some noise!
When we left here at the end of the regular season, it was the Columbus Lions. The Cobras needed to get that win to get up to 3rd seed. Then that got them up to 2nd seed. And by virtue of Columbus going in and beating Massachusetts, they're hosting the National Arena League Championship.
Is a very large man.
Seth, you talked to him recently. What kind of guy is he?
Oh, he's so much fun. I got to interview him earlier this week, and we were just talking. It's such a natural conversation. It's really fun.
Commissioner Chris Siegfried out there. You had a chance to talk with him, Seth.
Yeah, I did. I asked him, because I had a few questions about rule changes that I thought would be kind of interesting or appropriate for the league. And he explained to me why they are like they are. One of the things I asked about was the touchback, how it's 20 yards, and I felt like it was disproportionate. And he was telling me about how it balances out with going for the deuce. And yeah.
That's an interesting thing about these NAL rules, is that it's, if you make it, it's 2 points, and it's so tempting, and you got the ball at the 5-yard line.
Right.
And your defense is in good shape. But if you miss it, it's like you're saying, Seth, you set the other offense in pretty good shape.
Basically at midfield.
And some that's part of the strategy. Some teams don't even like you going for a deuce. But the Carolina Cobras obviously are going to try to get those 2 points.
All the best.
Rasa for Columbus, also a very strong kicker.
Heads, tails.
Tom, I get to ask you tonight, what are you going with here on the coin toss?
I'm going to give John Carlos Mendelin.
Oh, I always go with heads.
Heads is the call.
Whatever it is, the Cobras lose.
It's tails. You've won the toss.
Tails,
Oh,
tails.
finally.
All right.
Where do you wish
Is that the first or second time we've ever won it?
You're going this way? All right. Carolina
Second, I
has
think.
won the toss and elected to receive. All the best, men.
All right.
So we get to see this dynamic offense starting out the game.
believe that's referee. The referee that makes all the great explanations.
I love
there.
these. We're going to have wonderful explanations tonight on any calls. This official may be the best in the league at doing that.
Referee Aaron West. Well, Seth, we want to thank you for joining us, set up that preview. Get in touch with Seth through the channels of the Carolina Cobras media. Also read Strike Mode Magazine, where you can catch up on some of his articles.
Yep. All right, thank you.
Seth, you're an awesome author, bud.